It was so nice, we had to do it thrice. All right, hey guys, so we're doing the third bag video. And so this is right before my trip off to the US, doing the camp in CJI. So in this video, we'll be going the Air Pro Pack 20 liter, my new favorite backpack all round, literally not even situation specific. And then something I purchased probably, a few days ago, which is the Bellroy carry-on, I believe it's a 41 liter hard shell suitcase. And I'll kind of explain my thought process with this. Mostly why I love this bag so much, and then why I thought the suitcase was necessary. I've been such a lover of Bellroy for a few years at this point. However, I didn't like Air for quite a long time, and I hate to admit it, but I believe it's for aesthetic purposes, because everyone's like, oh, Air travel bag's so amazing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it just looked not nice to me. It was too many zippers. So we'll explain why I like this so much. All right, so we'll first go over the Pro Pack. This is a 20 liter bag, which is a little bit smaller than my preference for like my personal item bag. As you can see, I have quite a few of these, and usually I tend to favor something a little bit more in the 28 liter, 28. I think this is also 20, this is 30 liter range for something like, I believe this is also like 28, something like that. And the reason why I ended up getting the 20 liter at the Air shop was I was at the Air shop in New York, and I just was walking around and I stumbled upon it and I'm like, ooh, this is very cool. And they actually did have a 28 liter, but the main difference between the 20 liter and the 28 liter is this was a little bit more narrow. Basically the joint between the two shoulder straps, they're a lot closer together on the 28 liter. So that's why I got the 20 liter. Now, justifying my decision, why do I think this bag is so cool? I've had many Bellroy bags over the years, and one thing that I wish Bellroy did more is open water bottle pockets. No water bottle, they have a side pocket, but no water bottle holder. No water bottle holder on this Bellroy, no water bottle holder on this Bellroy. It annoys me. So as you can see on this one, we have two. And this is big enough to fit my, what is this? 710 milliliter Owala. And we'll explain why the Owala is so great later. But see, and it's not even a struggle. It just slides into place and it's wonderful. Unless you're using the Bellroy Venture, even this one, I was so disappointed to buy this one, where it was advertised as having an open water bottle pocket, but that was only for the smaller version. I think I got the 28 liter. I don't remember the literage, but for the smaller version of this, it had an open water bottle pocket. But then for the bigger one, it had the zipper, and I hate zippers because then I can't fit a big water bottle. I'm supposed to fit like a 300 milliliter water bottle while I'm traveling. You know, I want to stay hydrated. Similarly, this travel bag that I love from Bellroy, great layout, clamshell. I think it stores a lot. I love the layout. Literally just could fit a water bottle holder here and it would make it infinitely better. I would probably be carrying this instead of this if that were the case. They kind of have a very similar design to this Alpaca here, but this Alpaca is like a 42 liter. It's a little bit too big for my liking and it doesn't look as clean. I don't know. I hate that I'm making decisions because of aesthetics, but I am. That rant on water bottles gone. Let's go over how I'm packing this out. So we'll first go over the main compartment. All right, so we have the few main things we're going to put in the carry-on, and notice it's a little bit different from what it was like before for the carry-on because a lot of the things moved to the suitcase. However, from here, because we want to comply with most airlines' carry-on policy of a personal item and a carry-on bag, we're stuffing the Sling in here just in case any employee decides to take their day out on me. We have the Sling in here. The Bellroy Carryology collaboration Sling. I think it's Chimera Sling. And you might think, if you know how expensive this is, you might think, wow, Joseph, you must be really rich. And no, I got this for like 300 kwai on Taobao. So if you guys have access to Taobao, the quality is really good. I wonder if it fell off a truck or something, because I've bought a fair bit of like fake like things before. I think this might be real, because I haven't like seen a real Chimera sling. Haven't seen the real version, but the quality holds up to like, I have a real Venture sling here. But this Chimera thing is like, it's literally a factor of like almost 10. I think it's like $300 US and very limited. And Taobao is like 300 kwai. So if you don't know what Taobao is, it's the best, one of the best things about living in China. We have our PlayStation controller. Jojo's been getting into playing PlayStation recently. Basically, I only play Gran Turismo. I have no other games. I have Forza, but I don't play it. And I just discovered you could remote play from your iPad on your PlayStation back here. So that's my plan. Hopefully this isn't a waste. We got some shorts because at the in terms of what I do at airports, I almost always travel in long pants, because sometimes in planes it gets cold. So I generally carry long pants and a sweater. But then if I feel like, oh wow, I'm getting hot or whatever, I always have a change of clothes. I'll usually carry a hoodie and wrap it around my waist, and I'll change into shorts. And then lastly, we have the toiletry bag. The toiletry bag is pretty similar to what we had before. A few additions that I think that I quite like. This shaver thing from Philips, which is nice because I don't have to use shaving cream, and I can shave my face every 3 weeks because that's the rate at which I grow noticeable facial hair. We got some nasal strips so I can breathe when I sleep. And other than that, reference the last videos because it's going to be basically no different. We also got the JBL. This is something that I was quite reluctant to get, but after I was into listening to music. Like, I was really listening to a lot of music, and I didn't like using my headphones like for the last like year or so, and so I decided to get this JBL. And at the start, I thought the clip was the tackiest thing in the world. I'm like, what is this? No one's gonna use this. But then I've started using it a lot. So like, for example, if I want to play it while I'm outside, I clip it on the back of my bag. If I want to play it when I'm at home, camera, follow me. Oh, I just put it on my door handle. I got my JBL on the door handle. And so it can kind of, because imagine if you had a normal speaker and didn't have this. No way you're going to put it here. You're going to put it on the floor. You're going to put it there. It's not pointing at you. It's not the same. So probably like one of the best surprise purchases for me. I didn't expect to like it so much. And lastly, we have our Sea to Summit dry bag. This, in my opinion, is the best dry bag you can have. I wish I was sponsored by them. This is the 5 liter, but I've known some people. I know a friend of mine who has, I don't remember how big of a liter version, but he fit his gi in here. And he had it, I've had this for maybe like a year now. He had his for like 3-4 years, and only then was this like the seam fraying. But I've had this for a while now, and it hasn't basically shown any sign of wear or tear, which is awesome. My Matador died, and the reason for that is no fault to my mother, but she put it in the dryer, and then they had some parts glued together, and it just fell apart. So, Matador, I like your brand. I still have some of your stuff, but not so much of a fan of your dry bags. We have this internal compartment here, and we basically have my Whoop charger, and we got some elements. Now we'll go to the water bottle. We'll do a brief rant on Owala and why I think Owala is so great. But essentially the main appeal is you can sip and you can chug. This is, I think, game changing because they have a straw in here. It is insulated, so your cold water will stay cold for a fair bit of time. If I'm just chilling and I'm not trying to like do this to drink my water, I can sip. But if I'm dying of thirst and I just need all the water at once, I can also chug. This is one of my favorite features about this. So that's the main compartment. One thing I really also like about this airbag is this front admin panel. I don't even know why they call it admin panel, but this is what people call it. I fit my Sonys in here. And it fits surprisingly perfectly, honestly. You just slide them in, and then whoop, and it fits wonderfully. Another great thing that, if you know me, you'll know I really appreciate about a bag is that you have separate tech compartments. Because if you go through security and they're like, what do you have here? I don't want to have to go through my main compartment to access my tech. This bag does it great, where not only do I have one tech compartment, I have two. And this is, in some ways, I like this a lot more than Bellroy, because one, we have some sunglasses here, and we have my Air Tech Pouch that was gifted to me by my sponsors, John and Andy at Aesthetic, which this is probably, I think this is the first piece of Air anything that I got. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but essentially what I have in here, I have a power adapter, I have microphones, we have our cables, and we got the dongle, very useful. We got an Ethernet, SD, micro SD, USB, HDMI, USB-C, we got everything here. We got the SanDisk, the hard drive, and just a few more cables that I think are necessary. I love having all my cables in one bag as opposed to having to dig through them in a pocket. I think having a bag you can take in and out, lovely. And then we just pop it in here. This does take up a little bit of the inside space, but I don't think that's, I don't have an issue in that. And then I just put the sunglasses over here. And then another thing I love about this bag so much is now we open the laptop compartment. And not only does it give you the sleeve, a laptop sleeve, but you also get a separate iPad sleeve. And you might be like, oh, cool, I guess. But there's something about having a separate sleeve for your iPad that I just really love. And none of my Bellroys have this. So like, for a layout, I love the Bellroy layouts. I think they look great, like the work pack, the travel bag, whatever. But they don't have separate sleeves for the iPad. So I feel like a little bit gross when I have to put them together. Maybe it's just a me problem, but like I slide them in side by side. They don't have their own little compartment. It's like, what are you doing? It's just add it, you know? And I have the iPad here because for my PlayStation Remote Play, hopefully that works when I travel overseas, as well as designing Rashguards. And we'll probably talk about that in another video. I mean, at least that's the plan. And that's about it for this. This is definitely my favorite bag right now. Yeah, we do have the Sling, the Chimera Sling. One of the things, I feel like, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I do love having 3 compartments for your Sling, because especially this internal compartment for all your important things, whether it be, in this case, it's my Bellroy passport wallet, right? Because you don't want to have to sift through your important things. So for here, like let's say I'm just trying to get something random, my power bank, I don't want to leave and possibly risk losing my passport. So there's this guy on the internet, on YouTube, called Maurice Moves, and he talked about the value of having kind of 3 compartments, and especially this one closest to you, and I definitely agree with him. And from here, so on the inside we have a little bit of cash, got some USD, and then we got the passport wallet, and that's just the important stuff, you know, just leave it there, that's it. In the main compartment we have our just general use wallet, again, Bellroy, same as last video. I love this one, it feels so nice. We got the Anchor charger. My last mobile battery, the wireless charging, broke. So I had to get this at Doha Airport. I did to go for a bit of an upgrade because as you can see here, there's a little screen that tells you the battery. So when you do manage to attach this to your phone, you check this out, it'll eventually tell you how long it'll take to charge. So right now it says 17 hours, but it's lying. You have to wait a little bit and it'll tell you. If you guys can see, 2 hours and 35 minutes, 23 minutes. Anyways, something like that. And it's kind of useless. Like, you're like, oh, do I really need it to tell me how long it'll take to charge? No, but I like it. I also like that there's an explicit indication of the battery level. I don't like these chargers where it's just 4 lights and you're like, I'm gonna guess, okay, when it's 1 light, yeah, it may as well just tell me there's no power, you know? Versus this, if it's 5%, okay, there's still some juice, I know it. Versus if it's just 1 light, I'm like, I've given up on you. We have in our sunglasses compartment here, same as before, we got a bunch of Band-Aids, because jiu-jitsu. Got, once again, some more elements. And We got the Burt's Bees Cooling Eucalyptus chapstick, just in case the lips get dry, especially with all the traveling. Once again, similar to before, we have the S-Beaners on the outside. We have actually this hero clip, and this is something that I don't use so much, but when I do use it, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I have this. It's basically a normal carabiner type thing where you can clip things on, you can clip this onto things, right? Like, if you wanted to clip this to the backpack here, okay, you got it clipped, but you can do that with an S-Beaner. Well, why is this so cool? Imagine you're at like a restaurant or somewhere dirty and disgusting and you don't want to put your bag on the floor. This isn't the greatest example because I would probably like try loop this around this, but from here, you can just place it here and now your bag doesn't have to touch it on the floor. How lovely is that? It's, I feel like this is like kind of like the little pleasures of life, you know, just when something like this works very well. I feel like the first time I heard about this was from my friend Matthew in Singapore, and he showed me this, and at the time I didn't understand the beauty of this, but now I do. On to the last compartment with this, the most outer compartment. And from here, we just got the essentials. We got wet wipes, we got dry wipes, we have a face mask. And you might be like, Joseph, COVID was years ago. Why do you have this? It's because the New York City subway is absolutely disgusting. I am convinced every time I enter, I'm taking a few days off of my life. And so I wear this in the New York subway. And that's the last time I wore this. And lastly, we got the keychain. We got some gym memberships that probably expired. A key to something that might be B-Team. I don't remember. And we got this jade thing, this necklace that I don't really wear necklaces, but this was gifted to me by my friends in Christchurch. And that's about it for the sling. I'm trying to keep this quite light. I don't want it to be too bulky. I want to be able to keep it in that bag just in case people get a little bit too anal with me. And lastly, we have the last part of this setup, and this is the bulk. This is doing the heavy lifting. And in terms of philosophy and how I pack, the dense electronics go in the small volume bag because it's just going to be heavy, right? If I put all my shit and all my heavy stuff in one bag, it's just going to be like the densest thing on earth. However, by putting all my electronics in a small bag, and then it ends up being kind of spacious, and I put all my clothes, which aren't that heavy, aren't that dense, in here, none of them end up being too heavy. Like this is, I don't know how heavy it is. This is probably like less than 10 kilos, which might be heavier than what some airlines allow you, but I mean, there's also a carry-on plus, which is, this is 20 inches, I believe. That one's 22 inches. I got the smaller one because the carry-on plus, I saw some things on Reddit that said they don't necessarily comply with all airline sizing requirements, whereas this one does. We'll open it up and kind of see the layout, and I'll kind of explain why I love this so much. All right, so now you can see this is the internal organization that is provided by Bellroy. We have some packing cubes, and we have this kind of clamshell opening, all this good shit. So, top thingy filled with underwear, literally just underwear. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to look at my underwear, but I'll show you. We got 4 pairs of Whoop training underwear because I think this is the superior way to wear your Whoop. And unfortunately, I'm still on the 4.0. But instead of having it on your wrist or the bicep, maybe my biceps aren't big enough, but the bicep band falls off too much. And then we have the Uniqlo underwear. And this is my t-shirt section with gifts for my girlfriend. Not gifts, she bought them herself. I'm the courier to the US because things here are cheaper. We got a Uniqlo t-shirt, we got the Aesthetic t-shirts. Shout out to Aesthetic. We got the Fat Cat shirt in here as well. So this is what we'll be wearing. We can undo these and we get to the behind. So from here, we have defense wipes, just in case I travel to a gym without a shower. Or if I travel and I feel gross, defense wipes come in very handy. We got these waffle towels that my mother got me, and they're very light, and they do fold up quite small, and they're very absorbent. You know, like with a lot of travel towels you get, you end up like, so for example, the Matador travel towel that I have, much smaller than this, but I mean, maybe by maybe 2 to 3 times smaller. But I would always fully drench it. So this is, I've never done it to this, unless maybe you jump into a pool. Then we have the Bauer Find knee braces. And these are honestly my favorite. We got the knee brace and the elbow brace. Just because in terms of knee braces, this was gifted to me by the great Chris Wojcik. This was, he said he had this for 3 years. And look, I mean, it's still holding up very well. You can see there's less color, but still works very well for when I injure my knees sometimes. We bought another one and another elbow one. This is definitely my favorite knee brace. I mean, out of all the ones I've tried, these are great. Unfortunately, I'm not sponsored by them, but I highly recommend their product if you do want a knee brace. Then we have a very special compartment here, which is the Vegas fit. And so Lynn actually gifted me a very nice linen shirt just for my birthday. And this is what I'm going to be wearing to Vegas. We have a whole fit going. Hopefully I'm going to be able to accompany him to gamble. And we got a nice shirt, we got pants, we got somewhat tacky but a lovely gold Casio G-Shock. We got these glasses that my friend gifted me that I don't think I could think of any other occasion for them to work. Shout out to Feng He. But they look a little bit too funny not to waste. And then maybe you guys will see this when I wear this in Vegas, but I honestly think this is the funniest outfit ever. But a lot of effort and a lot of space just for a fun joke, but so be it. And then we go into the next compartment. In this large mesh pocket, we have some supplements that my mom made for me. We got 3 days worth of, I don't know what's in this, but my mom makes them. I like them a lot. And then we have these antihistamines that are basically sleeping pills for me. And I've started to need these recently because since turning 20 years old, I've now believed in the concept of jet lag, which used to not be a thing, but now, well, it kills me now. Now, pulling this back, what do we have here? We got a Matador packable backpack. Highly love this one. I've had this one actually for years. I think I bought this maybe like 3-4 years ago. I love this. We got a Peak Design packing cube, and I'll explain why I like this packing cube so much with the other Peak Design packing cube that I have here. I forgot the literage, but we'll talk about this later. We got the creatine. We got the soap. This soap I think I got in, it's goat soap with eucalyptus. I thought it was pretty nice. I like bar soap. I talked about this before. Easy to travel with. If you get liquid soap, you can only go under 100 milliliters. You're gonna shower for like 3 days and the soap's gone. This will last you a minute. We got some men's daily supplements because I can't take so many supplements. You see, I only have 3 days worth of there. And then we got, once again, the Uniqlo packing cube. We got some spats up here and thermals in here, same as before. And then lastly, the last packing cube. And maybe you guys can figure out why I like this packing cube so much. But it doubles. And this is a concept I was thinking about maybe like a year ago at this point, where why not have a packing cube that can also turn into a bag? And Peak Design did it before me, so props to them. I gave them my money for that. And this here just packs all my rash guards because I like having my rash guards in one place. So shout out to Aesthetic for the rashies. We got a mix of some of my stuff with some of their new stuff. Discount code Jozef if you guys are keen on getting any of their stuff. Unfortunately, the discount code doesn't work on the stuff I did in collaboration with Aesthetic because I already get a cut. But hopefully, if you buy anything that doesn't have to do with an athlete that's being collaborated with, please use the code. The support is greatly appreciated. And that's honestly it, you know? I mean, that's the bag. I try to underpack a little bit, like, I mean, there are a few things I'm missing, like, for example, like a gi and a big jacket. For this trip, I don't foresee needing them. For example, like with a gi, if I do go to a place where I'll train gi, which is probably somewhere like New York or something like this is a quick trip, I don't think I'm going to be training gi. And I have aesthetic gis in Austin, so I don't mind that as well. And then, what else am I missing? Big jacket, I'm not going anywhere too cold. if I do, I'm gonna be bringing a hoodie. I have my thermals. I don't think it'll be anything too crazy. We're not doing a Kazakhstan trip. At least I don't foresee it. So, no socks. Jojo is a no socks person, unless I decide to bring socks. But the only shoes we are guaranteed to bring are these. This is probably my 4th or 5th pair of these, just because when all you do is wear the same shoe all day, every day, they tend to get worn down quite quickly. But I love these. These so far, my last pair, they were broken here, but now these aren't. This is fairly new, but you can see there's a little bit of wear here. But I honestly love these shoes so much that I'll basically just keep buying them until forever, basically. These are, once again, I love these because they're so easy, they're so light, they're very comfortable. You don't have to wear socks, which is annoying. Imagine, like, I mean, I'm imagining a lot, but imagine if you finish training, you showered, now you have to put on socks. This sucks. You're gonna have to towel off everywhere. I have to like go in between the toes, towel off, okay, and then I put on my sock. And if you don't do that, it's just kind of gross. Instead, I just step into my shoe, and if there's water, it evaporates. I mean, that's it. Last thing I kind of want to talk about, Matador product that I love, this eye mask. Out of all the eye masks I have, this is great. Primarily because, I mean, it's comfortable. That's the main thing, right? I can sleep with it. But it doesn't hurt my ears. A lot of the eye masks, when you have that elastic string, it just kind of like either sits on the top of your ear like this, and it's like strangling your head, and then that's quite unpleasant. And then, or if it goes over, especially if it's too tight, also unpleasant. So this one, the great part is you have this Velcro strip, and then it chills here, and it's very comfortable. That was the latest bag video, the third. Hopefully we get a 4th, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Like, something I really hate is straining myself to try to open or close a bag. If you're at that point, you need to, like, you're packing way too much shit.